ask all of you all to stand for our graduates that are coming in. And if you'd remain standing, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you. So my name is Dwayne Napier. I'm the program director for the LPN to RN program, and it's my pleasure to welcome all the families, the friends, our graduates, our guest speakers, and honored guests. These 7 graduates started this program at the height of a pandemic, survived Zoom classes, limited internet connectivity at times, and the trials and tribulations of being admitted into a brand new program. They are our pioneers. The faculty have worked tirelessly to provide these graduates with a learning environment that has enhanced their previous nursing experience as LPNs, and I want to thank the faculty for their hard work. Also, I want to thank Erin Trump, our administrative associate, for keeping all of us on track and in line. And with the support of the college's Board of Governors, the foundation, the administration, and our community and clinical partners, this program would not have been possible. You noticed each of the graduates carried a lamp. Florence Nightingale carried a lamp as she walked the halls of the battlefield hospital during the Crimean War. The soldiers began calling her the lady with the lamp, a woman full of caring and compassion. As a tribute to Florence Nightingale's dedication to nursing, the lamp icon has become a symbol for the nursing profession. The lamp will always shine brightly as a symbol of the care and the devotion nurses administer to the sick. Please allow me to introduce our first speaker, Delegate Mike Conacher.
Oh, I have the mic on. Thank you. Thank you. And gosh, it's going to be tough because I was planning on you guys sitting there so I could stare at you and make really good eye contact as I challenge you this evening. But let me begin by saying what an honor it is to even be invited. To be part of such a special day for you, to be here at a time you're being recognized for the great work you've done. And so I want to congratulate you first and foremost. So congratulations. And while I'm honored to be here on such a special day, and I commend you and I congratulate you, and I applaud you for what you've accomplished, I also want to challenge you this evening. And I guess what I'm going to say to you, I can say to you. Everyone up here is absolutely terrified of public speaking, I think. I tend not to be, and I said it just a moment ago, when you've spent most of your adult life being shot at, not so bad getting up and just kind of talking in front of people, right? But undoubtedly, I can't help but just think that becoming a nurse has to be one of the most selfless acts to which a person can commit themselves. And that's why we honor these graduates this evening. You know, William Shakespeare once said, the meaning of life is to find yourself. And once you find yourself, then the meaning of life becomes to give that all to somebody else. And I have seen that my entire adult life. At the ripe old age of none of your business, I have seen nurses in action through the years, from all the way back to my Marine Corps days, 28 and a half years in the state police, and all those emergency rooms with all of those automobile crashes and shootings and domestic disputes, and seeing nurses step up. And to be honest with you, and I might offend all the doctors here, but I've always had a lot more confidence in the nurses than the doctors. It seemed like the nurses were there most of the time. So you guys please let me off the hook for that. But you know, I think when we think about finding ourselves and finding our purpose and then giving it to others, that should be all of our goals. We should all have that goal, and I know you will. And ultimately, the goal is, I think, to one day stand before God, but not just to stand there, but to kind of come in sliding sideways, busted up, bruised up, scratched up, scarred up, worn out, so that God would look at you, and God would look at you and say, wow, you've probably got absolutely nothing left. That should be the goal. And so let me first say this to you as you are being recognized and honored tonight. I've heard people say my whole life, I don't care what people think. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what you think. And I think that is a flaw in a person's character. So I want to challenge you this evening to always care what other people think. I care what people think. I care about their feelings. I care about people's feelings enough that I will lie to them. You ever heard somebody say, I hate a liar? If there's one thing I hate, Mike, it's a liar. And I'll think, there's probably worse things, like, you know, if my wife comes to me and says, hey, what do you think about my new hairdo? And I think it looks like a ballet shot out of a cannon. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, man, I think it looks great. Did I lie? Yes. But did it spare her feelings? It sure did. So maybe every once in a while, we should care about people enough to maybe not even tell them the truth. But I do always say this too. The person that loves you the most is not the person who tells you what you want to hear. The person that loves you the most is the person that tells you the most truth. But I really want to challenge you tonight to never fall into that rut. And a rut is nothing but a grave with both ends knocked out of it. Don't fall into the rut and become one of those people who says, I don't care what anybody thinks. There's a name for those people. They're called a sociopath. So, I'm just telling you, if you're going to make a difference in this world, and I know you're going to have to care what other people think, even if you don't agree with them. And I think that, most people, it's been said, most people will forget what we did, but they would never forget how we made them feel. And so I had this discussion yesterday with some of my employees at work, and I oversee a county government agency, and so you know how government employees are, right? I'm one of them. I can talk about them. I talked to them about something called customer service. And that seems like such a foreign concept to government employees. Government employees don't normally acclimate too well to customer service. And so I was giving them the whole speech about customer service, what people expect of us. And I told them the story of a young trooper that worked for me several years ago when I was a area commander, and my office was near a part of the office called the bullpen, and the bullpen is a large area where the troopers would work, and you could, there's several desks out there, and they would have all of these conversations that I would overhear, and sometimes I would cringe, sometimes I would get up and shut my office door. But I heard the secretary transfer a phone call to one of these young troopers that was like a little brother to me. And we were in the business at the time of trying to install a lot of car seats in cars for people. We had trained all of our folks to learn how to do that. And so they were really good at it. And it was the safest thing we could possibly do for children who were traveling in automobiles. And so I heard him on the phone with a young mother, turned out to be a young mother, and she needed this car seat installed, and she had other kids. One was at school and one was here, and she needed to get this car seat installed. And I heard the trooper say, well, what time can you be at the office? And I could just tell, I'm no dummy, I could follow the conversation. I hear him say, well, I'll be here till 3 if you can make it, but if you can't make it before 3, I won't be here. And so he ends up getting off the phone. I walk out there and I said, Matt, are you going to install that car seat? And he goes, well, she said she couldn't be here before 3, and I get off at 3. It's like 12:30. And I said, why couldn't she be here before 3? And he said, well, she's got to go get a child from school, and she's got another one at a babysitter. And I said, I got a brilliant idea. Since we paid for all of your clothes except your socks, and we bought you a $20,000 car, and we pay for the fuel, and we're paying you to work till 3 o'clock, how about you drive up to her house and install that car seat? And he said, thanks, First Sergeant, I never thought of that. Customer service. It begins when you care about what people think, and you will work harder. Next, and I promise I'm not going to be long, I want to challenge you to be an inspiration to your patients. Because I have a feeling you're going to encounter patients that are going to be an inspiration to you. But it begins with you, because I really believe that the way you conduct yourself, and based on how inspiring you are, and based on how positive your attitude is, and based on how conscientious you are about your work, I have a feeling, and I know studies prove this, that will have a great impact on how your patients respond to you. It will not only have an impact on how patients respond to healthcare workers, when healthcare workers love their job and love their work and have a good attitude and apply themselves and show concern and care what others think, it not only will cause a different response from those patients, but I actually believe it will have an impact on how well and how hard those patients fight for their lives, no matter what the illness is that they are facing, whether it be cancer or any other horrible disease. Nurses will impact the spirit of those patients and how hard they fight. And not only that, but how well they heal. And so I want to challenge you to be an inspiration to your patients and let them be an inspiration to you. I know as human beings we mess this up. We miss the mark so many times, and your lives are probably going to turn out like mine when you get old like me, and you're going to look back and realize you probably have learned more from your mistakes and the times you missed the mark than the times that you, for lack of a better term, succeeded or accomplished something. And one of the most simple things, and I really do, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but we've been told that sometimes we might be entertaining angels unaware, which means we need to really be careful about how we treat other people. We don't know what they're going through. We don't know what they're facing. We don't know what they're afraid of. We don't know what they're struggling with. And sometimes it's the most simple things. And so, since I told a story on a guy that worked for me, I'm going to tell a story on myself about missing the mark. We can get so caught up in what we're doing, how busy our day is, what we are worried about, all the work we have to do, that we can miss those little opportunities that I think God gives us to make a difference in other people's lives. I was standing in line one day at a convenience store when I was still with the state police. I was in full uniform, serving as an area commander, and all I wanted to do was get my vice, which is Coca-Cola. It is the thing that has a hold of me that I cannot shake, is Coca-Cola. And so I was standing in line with my Coca-Cola and my pack of gum, and the person up in line is like, I want 3 of those NASCAR scratch-offs, and I want 2 of those Wheel of Fortunes, and I want a hard box of Marlboros, and I'm just like, just get your stuff. I got places to go. I got things to do. And so they get all of their lottery tickets or whatever, and they go about their business. And the next guy He's got 2 hot dogs wrapped in aluminum foil and a soda, and he's obviously a hardworking man. I don't know what his vocation was, but I knew he worked for a living. It was hot that day, he was sweating, he was dirty, his truck was outside running, and he puts these 2 hot dogs and his soda up there and the bag of chips, and the lady rings it up, and it's cost more than he had. And I was just tacitly paying attention to this because, you know, you're always looking around at everybody, at least in my business. And he didn't have enough money, and he said, well, I'm just going to put this hot dog back. And he moved one of the hot dogs over, and he got the 1 hot dog, the 1 bag of chips and the soda, and he paid for it, and he went about his business. And then I stepped up there, and I paid for my Coke. And about the time I hit my car, I sat in my car, I heard that still small voice say, you know, you could have bought him that hot dog. And I was really convicted about that. I mean, I was convicted enough that if I knew where that guy went, I would have went back in and bought that hot dog and took it to his job site. I was so convicted that God had given me the opportunity to just do a very simple little thing. It would have cost me, what, $1? Maybe, and I missed it. I missed the mark on that one. But it really helped me going forward to pay closer attention to that kind of thing. And you guys will have that opportunity every day. Not just to buy people hot dogs, but to do the little things. And finally, I want to say this to you. I want to share with you something I think will help you in life. Help you in your vocation. It will help you in your relationships. It will help you with the challenges you face. And I call it the law of the bucket. Very simple concept. So the story goes that there was a small town that needed to hire a maintenance worker. And so they did. A gentleman came in, he applied for the job. Very simple job with the public service department of a small town. They hired him to do the maintenance work, and they told him the first job, the most important job they had for him, was to paint double solid yellow lines on the road through town that led out of town. And it went many, many miles out of town. The town was responsible for it, so they gave him his bucket of paint, they gave him his paintbrush, they gave him his chalk line, and they said, go paint the double solid yellow lines. And the first day of work, this guy painted 10 miles of double solid yellow lines on the road. And the town manager, when he found out, was so impressed. He was thinking, wow, this guy's worked here one day. I think I might give him a raise, or maybe this is somebody we can promote in the near future. It's just no one has done that task that well before and accomplished that much in a single day. The guy came to work the next day, and he painted 7 miles of double solid yellow lines, which was still fantastic. Everybody was still very pleased with his work. 7 miles. He came to work on the 3rd day, and he only painted 5 miles of double solid yellow lines out that road. But you know what? That was still pretty much the average, and so the town manager wasn't too concerned. He waits for the 4th day. Thursday rolls around, and then the guy only paints 3 miles. The town manager becomes concerned, and then on the 5th day, on that Friday, the same gentleman comes to work, and he only paints 1 mile of double solid yellow lines. And so the town manager was kind of upset. And so he said, be sure and tell him to be at my office first thing Monday morning before he starts work. I want to talk to him. And so that man came into that town manager's office on Monday morning, and he sat down, and the town manager began to say, what I just told you, gosh, on day 1, 10 miles. We were so impressed. We were ready to give you a raise. And by day 2, you're at 7. And then on Wednesday, you were down to 5. And then Thursday, only 3. And then Friday, only 1 mile. You know, what is going on here? And the man looked up at him, so puzzled. And he says to the town manager, well, you know, the further you paint those lines, the further you get away from the bucket. And now you see it in your head, right? Go out 10 miles, and you just walk them back and forth. That brush getting new paint on it every time. And so what is the law of the bucket? I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't know what you need in your bucket. It could be your faith. It could be your family. It could be your purpose. It could be your pride. I don't know what's in your bucket. I don't know what you need in your bucket. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to need to take your bucket with you. Because life becomes very hard when you have to travel back to your purpose and back to your inspiration and back to your motivation. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard this or not, but there was a very, very, very wise philosopher named Rocky Balboa who said this: the world is a very mean and nasty place. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there if you let it. You, me, nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. But you're going to need your bucket to do that. So whatever you need to put in your bucket, whatever you need to keep you motivated, inspired, and energized, be sure you have it. In the Marine Corps, we would say this: you got to improvise, you got to adapt, and you got to overcome. So I say to you tonight, God bless you, God protect you, God sustain you, and congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you.
I'd like to ask the Chief Nursing Officer from Greenbrier Valley Medical Center, Deborah Parsons, to come and offer her congratulations.
Hello. I'm very honored to come today to be able to speak with you. This is such a huge challenge that you've overcome, and we're blessed to have you guys. On behalf of Greenbrier Valley Medical Center, I would like to congratulate successfully completing your program. We are excited to have you. You've overcome an enormous amount of adversity to become registered nurses. You had to balance school requirements with work, personal lives, and commitments. In addition to that, the COVID pandemic presented a major roadblock in your clinicals. Florence Nightingale once said, "Let us never consider ourselves finished nurses. It's a continued journey that we'll always be on." In that spirit, I would like to encourage you to never stop learning. Go to work every day with the intent to learn something new, apply a concept to real life, or improve upon and master a skill. Strive to be the best nurses you can be and set an example for your peers. Be the role models for other nurses to emulate. I believe nursing is not just a job, a career, it's a calling. To be an exceptional nurse, you have to have a passion for helping people, a caring heart, and a desire to ease suffering. Nursing is routinely rated by the general populace as one of the most trusted professions in the world. Your patients, their family members are going to place their trust in you to provide them with the best care possible. Think about what that entails. Patients are going to entrust their lives or the lives of their loved ones to you, a total stranger. This carries with it a great responsibility. Never betray the trust and always do what's best for your patients. Be their advocate, fight for your patient. In closing, I would like to express that Dr. Kyle Ford, Man Ford, had been very instrumental in this program. They had a vision. Dr. Ford came to me about 6 years ago when I came to Greenbrier. He had a vision of having a nursing program of this school to graduate. This is the first year of a graduation, and it's been a long, hard journey and a lot of people to thank. Dwayne Napier, program director, Dr. Copenhaver, the president of the college. But lastly, you guys for graduation. Great job.
And now Ms. Sharon Rowe will speak to us on behalf of the New River Community and Technical College Foundation.
Thank you. Good evening. What an exciting day this is. One that the members of the board of the foundation have waited for I think, 10 years. Shortly after Dr. Copenhaver arrived at New River, this program became an institutional priority, and under her leadership was granted approval by the State Board of Registered Nurses and the HLC in less than 10 months, which is quite an accomplishment. With the rising need for nurses, not only in our area but nationwide, New River answered the call, following its mission as great community and technical colleges do, and established the LPN to RN grid program. And this first class are trailblazers. You've spent long hours in classroom and clinical settings to gain the knowledge you need to be successful. Each one of you is the beneficiary of New River's commitment to this program. You've been afforded the preparation that will make the difference in your future practice. With the support you have received from faculty, staff, your families, and each other, you have persevered and are poised to succeed. The Foundation Board of Directors extends congratulations and very best wishes to each of you as you embark on the next phase of your career. We feel certain your patients will be in the most capable hands. Thank you.
And now, Vice Chairman Dr. Tom Lemke will now offer a few words on behalf of the Board of the Governors.
Good evening, and a warm welcome from the Board of Governors. This special inaugural event is testament to many good things that have happened, starting with exceptional private community support aided by state funding and combined with an excellent plan that was developed and executed by our administration, faculty, and staff. The Board of Governors is very appreciative for all these efforts at bringing accessible, affordable, quality education to the important communities that we serve. For all these components, the board is very thankful. To the students who stepped up, supported by your family and friends, we deserve our biggest thanks. Your community needs and is waiting for your service. Congratulations and great service.
Please welcome Dr. Bonnie Copenhaver, the President of the group.
Thank you, and it is my honor to be here. I always enjoy student events, no matter what they are. You know, club activities, canning, graduation, I think everything like that is wonderful. You know, the older that you get, I've noticed this very recently because I'm about to have a birthday, so I guess I've become very reflective. And almost 55 years now, you know, you run out of having firsts. You get a lot of firsts when you're kind of coming along, you know, but the older that you get, I've discovered you don't get too many firsts anymore. And, you know, sometimes when you have those first moments, they're very poignant sometimes, they're very emotional, or sometimes they're just downright funny, because it's just something that you never expected. And I never really expected to be standing here, number one, as a college president, number two, at the very first pinning of this really awesome new program that we've started here. A lot of people came together and saw the need in this community and did a lot of hard work, and you're surrounded by all of these people today that saw that vision. We're able to bring that to life. And one of the other firsts, when I was growing up as a kid, I learned about Marie Curie. She was around 1900. She was a physicist. She was a chemist. Usually, for a long time, her husband got all the credit, but it was actually her. She actually discovered radium and plutonium way back in the day. And one of the things that she said that I've always carried with me, she said, we must have perseverance and above all, confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something and that this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. And that is where I see you this evening. You know, you've made that big step to come back and go to school. And we so appreciate you choosing New River to do that. And we thank all your friends and your family out here. You've shared your loved one with us. And we deeply appreciate that. And we also probably should apologize for taking them away from family events sometimes or holidays while they were studying. But the hard work is all paying off right now. And so my sincerest congratulations to you, and I look forward to see you tomorrow when you walk across the stage. Thank you.
And then our keynote speaker for our ceremony tonight is Ms. Joanne Perry. She's the director of our LPN program, and several of our graduates tonight attended the New River LPN program.
Thank you guys so much for asking me to be a part of this very special historic day at the college. I feel blessed and honored to be able to be here with you guys and celebrate our very first LPN to RN Bridge program graduating class today. So congratulations, guys. But most of all, I want to thank all of you guys, the class of 22, for answering the noble call of nursing and advancing your degree to the registered professional level of nursing, because we need smart, caring, quality nurses. The patients need you, the facilities and hospitals need you, our communities need you, our nursing educational programs need you, and the nursing profession needs you. We need your fresh perspective, your high energy, your enthusiasm, and your resilience. We know that you are already resilient because you have worked so hard to obtain and advance your nursing degrees through countless challenges. However, your resilience is so much more than overcoming these challenges. It is growing and learning about yourself. It is standing up, showing up, and speaking up, not only for your patients, but for yourself. You already know as a nurse, because you all are nurses already, that self-care is one of our biggest challenges as nurses. A high level of functioning is required of us in nursing today, no matter what level of nursing we are at or the areas that we work. When we take care of ourselves, we are better nurses, parents, partners, and happier people. Sometimes nurses are so busy putting the needs of others first that we forget to take care of ourselves. I want to remind you to take time for yourself and your family, because they also need you to be at your very best. Nurses are needed in every facet of healthcare. There are so many wonderful opportunities waiting for you as registered nurses. You are advancing your degree at a critical time. I truly believe that this generation of nursing graduates will have more opportunity to serve our patients with greater autonomy and shape our healthcare systems more than ever before. I love the wonderful energy I feel at nursing pinning ceremonies. It's always my favorite time of year. It's a great day for everyone here, not just the graduates, but also the college, the faculty, the staff, all you family, all you friends. We are all so excited for you. We all know the time you have dedicated to achieving this moment and the sacrifices you have made to get here. You now know that every level of nursing that you advance will take as much sacrifice and as much time as the last. But you must never stop learning or advancing your education. With every career choice you make, you will gain the insight, the knowledge, and skill you will need for your next challenge. This is the beginning, and the sky is truly the limit from here. Several of you guys sitting in those chairs started your nursing journey with me at New River in the Practical Nursing Program, and words cannot express how proud I am of you for advancing your education, and especially for choosing our program to do so. It is one of my great joys to see my previous students advancing their careers. and I'm truly honored to be a part of your journey and a part of your nursing story. I believe you are well prepared to start this new chapter as registered nurses. As registered nurses, you will have the capacity to serve and advance your profession in so many ways. You will be leaders, innovators, educators, researchers, and the future of our profession, and I cannot wait to see what you do with your careers. When I was first asked to speak to you, I sat down and I tried to think of words that would inspire you to keep moving forward and advancing your careers. I reflected on my own path as I advanced through the years in search of these words. Nurses are very special people. We work long hours and miss many special occasions in the service of others. Sometimes we forget that there is a family connected to the nurse, and they also are sacrificing. So thank you to all those family members of your nurse, to encourage them and lift them up, and for your service also. As I was preparing to speak to you, the words why and because kept entering my thoughts. And I know these are two simple words, but when applied to nursing, they can be very, very profound. Patients remember their nurses because as nurses, we connect with them in such an intimate, sacred way that it is truly a gift. Patients help us remember why we do what we do every day. And you guys are my why I do what I do every day. This sustains us and helps us build our resilience and energy. But when things don't go as planned, or we can't control the outcome, or we become overwhelmed with the complexity of our work, is it even possible to keep our hearts and our minds open if we do not remember our why? Nursing is not just a job, it is the calling, and it is the difference between earning a living and saving a life. You will need to remember your why to be able to serve in the most challenging, complex healthcare environments of today. I will also remind you to always remember the great power you have because you are a nurse. Because you are a nurse, patients are entrusting you with their lives and ability to keep them safe. Do not underestimate the power of this trust. You will sometimes be their only voice and their only advocate. You will be the one to make the most difference in their time of greatest need. You will be the light in their darkest hours. If you remember to treat your patients as you would like your loved ones to be treated, everything else will fall into place. Because you are a nurse, you will witness miracles and have the unique experience of holding infants as they take their first breath and holding the hands of others as they take their last. Never take for granted the difference you can make in your patients' lives, and remember it is truly the little things that matter the most. It is holding their hand when no one else is there to do so. It is giving them a drink of water when they are too weak to hold the cup. It is helping them take those first steps after a life-changing event, and it is sometimes merely taking the time to listen to their story. As you care for your patients, using the science of nursing practice, do not underestimate the art of nursing, that the art of nursing will also have on your patients' outcomes. Most professions are based on either a science or an art. However, as nurses, you will be in a unique position that will require you to delicately balance both the science and art of nursing to assist patients in achieving an optimal level of health. Nursing does not exist without both the science and the art. Also, because you are a nurse, you will be held to the highest standards. You will be expected to have a strong moral compass and practice using the highest ethical and professional standards. You will be held accountable for all your actions. Your integrity will be so important as you advance in your career. Always remember to stand up for what you believe in. Treat everyone equally and fairly. Do what you say you will do. Admit to your mistakes, but most importantly, learn from them. And always be open and honest. And lastly, because you are a nurse, your profession becomes more than a career and becomes a way of life. It becomes the fabric of your being and will guide your decision-making, not only professionally, but also personally. As you enter this next phase of your nursing career, when things get challenging, always remember your why. Draw your energy from your resilience. Never stop learning. And remember the difference you will make in your patients' lives and your communities because you are a nurse. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your day, and I wish each and every graduate the best of luck and most successful careers.
So now we're at the point where we're going to honor our graduates. The pinning ceremony is a time-honored nursing tradition that is often more personally meaningful than the graduation ceremony. It signifies the nursing graduate's official initiation into the brotherhood and sisterhood of nurses. As we prepare to pin our graduates, I want to invite the family or friends of each graduate to move to the front of the room if they want to take pictures, and the graduates will be pinned in alphabetical order as listed in your program. And Ms. Trump will read the names of the graduates as they are pinned.
Caleb Asbury. Amy Cook. John Hammond. Jordan Holloman. Heather Peters. Tiffany Sampson. ceremony.
Now, if you would, are there any other nurses in the room other than the ones up front? Stand up, please. I want to invite all the nurses in the room to stand and recite the Nightingale Pledge, which can be found on the back of the program. I solemnly pledge myself before God in the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to practice my profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession and will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and all family matters coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling. With loyalty will I aid the physician in their work, and as a missioner of health, I will dedicate myself to devoted service for human welfare. So in some nursing pinning ceremonies, we add a couple of little things that you don't always see. But the nursing organizations that support what we do and who have impacted and allow us to include supporters who have impacted the program in the pinning ceremony. These supporters are not nurses. So we plan to recognize supporters of the program at each pinning ceremony for this program. And this evening, we want to recognize 3 of those supporters. First, I want to ask Dr. Bonnie Copenhaver to come forward. I know, you weren't. You weren't supposed to. So you are now, Dr. Copenhaver, an official nurse. And one of those caps is for you. I don't have Bobby Glue pins.
I have always wanted a nursing hat.
She told me this like 3 years ago.
Because I spent a lot of time around nursing programs, and helping and working with faculty, and I am not a nurse. There's nothing about me that could ever be a nurse, and I always loved the hat, and I always thought it would be so cool to have.
And nurses don't wear hats
And
anymore.
they don't wear them anymore, but, you know, hats are just awesome.
Cool.
So I thank you all.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Next is Dr. Wendy Patrick. You didn't know this either. Let's see. I'm gonna put it right here. I promise I won't stick. Won't promise I won't stick myself. Let's see. And you get a cap also. For your office. So always remember. And one more person who would never expect this, but is completely and utterly responsible for bringing me to New River. Mike Green. You're not getting a cap. Sorry. You look great in one, but you know, no way. Cool. That looks good on you. So, graduates, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, I present you the first graduate of the New River Community Technical College LPN to RN program. And if you would please stand and offer your congratulations to our graduates with a round of applause. And we're finished. And thank you very much for your kind attention. We appreciate you. And I know they appreciate you.